Dior Sauvage is the best-selling fragrance of all time. Today, it's a clone war. Let's go. What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to another episode in the Clone War series here on AROMATIX. If you're not already part of the family, then hit that subscribe button and join. What are you waiting for? I've went through a lot of fragrances trying to find what smells like, and before today, where everybody just was given the information of dupes and clones, we were discovering them since we were babies here on the channel. If you've been rocking with me for a long time, love you guys, and if you're new, love you too. Welcome to the family. Let's go ahead and dissect Sauvage and some of the most detached up to the closest. We're going to keep it to 5 here. There's a lot, even from brands that you might never have heard of, like Luxador. These are a lot more readily sourced. You can find them. They're easier to find, and one of these are the absolute best. Sauvage EDT stemmed off of the DNA of Aventus. Believe it or not, I've actually spoken with a lot of the perfumers that created this one, along with Aventus, Jean-Christophe Hérault, who's a good friend of mine and a wonderful perfumer. The brief started up with making something that's a bit more mass appealing than Aventus. So fresh, less birchy, less smoky, and less tropical. You end up with this. One of, I would personally say, the most mass appealing synthetic fragrances, because when it first came out, everybody was like, oh my god, ambroxan and metallic. But then it became something that, well, I mean, it's the best-selling fragrance. To this day, it smells great. I would still recommend it to this very day. I personally love the EDP. The EDT is pretty good. It's the most projecting and the loudest of them all. However, sadly, unfortunately, after 10 years, they have now announced, or I think 15 years, they have now announced that it's been reformulated. So you can't even get the Once Upon a Time Sauvage. Or can you? Wait to the end to find out. Starting off with Du Max Fierce. This is one of the earlier ones, and this is by Dumont. And you can sense that it was one of the early ones. I smashed the atomizer on this one, but the main difference with a lot of these scents is going to be the ambroxan or the ambergris quality. That synthetic in itself is can be very expensive, especially when you use captives, which is a very specific combination that it's kind of like their signature. This, you can sense the quality is not up to par. The peppers, the citrus combination, it's a good smelling fragrance, but it just has this like musky, woody scent that kind of smells a little dusty. That's the best way I could describe it. Not bad, but still absolutely not the best one. Next one is the Salvo and the Suave Intense. Maison Alhambra had their version, and so did Fragrance World. Both of these smelled good, except similarly, doesn't have the same quality of ambroxan, aka ambergris. I would still say that this one is a little cleaner. It doesn't have that same dusty or musky and woods combination, but the longevity for both of them were pretty ass. I would say that this was about 4 hours, whereas the Maison Alhambra version was maybe 2.5. And that's that. I wouldn't recommend them today, especially considering all the other alternatives and when we get closer to the top 3 or even 4, which we are at right now. This is called Riffs Blue Absolute. I enjoyed this one a lot because for a long time, this was the best one. And right off the top, I mean, even the atomizer, the citrus, the ambergris, the woodsy nature of the fragrance smells super higher quality than a lot of these older fragrances. The biggest differentiation between this one and some of the older fragrances is going to be the thickness of specifically the lavender. That's what gives it this jelly vibe that almost smells like the whole blue vibe. This one absolutely has a lot more than that. There's the lavender, there's also geranium. It just smells like a denser fragrance. The ones I mentioned prior to, they all had the vibe, but they didn't have the richness, the blue nature, and even the thickness of, as it starts to dry down, some of that cedarwood and the labdanum. So this is where it started to get real, and it was like, okay, shit, we have some potential. Longevity for this one is a good 5 to 6 hours. It was selling for around $30. I enjoyed the hell out of this one, and I was wearing it to work, school, and everything in between, much like Sauvage itself. But Sauvage is expensive, and Dior is one of the brands where they do not discount. So when I make these Clone Wars, I love it. Doesn't mean I wouldn't tell you not to buy this again, but for those of you who can't afford it, love you guys, and you should be able to still smell like it. And I don't care what anyone says. We should all have the same opportunities. Next one is Afnan's Modest Une. And this was recommended by a lot of you guys out there. Try the Afnan, and it's a good one. It is a good one, except where this one shines, this one falls. Where this one falls, this one shines. So it's kind of neck and neck. At this territory, we're now sitting at about 80 to 85%. Everything prior was like 75% or less. It's not even worth mentioning the percentages on the other ones. Just pass them all together. The reason I say that these are both similarly close is that this has a freshness to peppers, but it really focuses more on like the blue gel vibes with the ambergris or the ambroxan. This, having less of the blue gel vibes, really focuses on the citrus aspects. You have the citruses and the peppers, and that's really what's projecting the most. Also, the ambroxan or ambergris, so it's projecting. It has that same metallic vibe. It still smells pretty good, but it just doesn't have that blue backbone DNA. Simple as that. Longevity, though. I will say that this one, surprisingly, lasts longer. And it's one of the cases where it's like, typically you would think that a thicker, denser base includes something of longer longevity, except in a lot of cases, especially with ambergris or ambroxan, these are fixatives or synthetics that can help with longevity, etc., that this one is clearly dosed up in. So, total longevity for this is about 7 to 8 hours, and I would say no more than 80% close at best. Next fragrance, extremely impressive at the time. And coming from a brand that I've never heard of. It's called J'y Parle, Yes, I Am the King. A hidden gem during its time that was unbelievable quality. The ambergris, the ambroxan, just when I had thought, like I spent years seeing the shift in qualities. Just when I had thought, it was like, it can't get any better, man. Okay, this was good. Oh, okay, this is impressive. Oh, okay, it's also impressive. Then it was like, oh shit, is that you? But it doesn't stop there. So this is not the Clone War winner, but it is a damn good one. Total longevity of 6 to 8 hours. It captures all aspects, but it's just not as rich in all the aspects. So you have basically the shadow of Sauvage. It has the citruses, the peppers, the ambergris, the elemi, the lavender. It has everything there, you guys. It's just not as rich nor as projecting. It's still there. It got me a shit ton of compliments, and you could wear this every single place. Now is the time where we finally announce the Clone War winner. This is 90% close. 90 to 95. And this, factories have given the decisive value and the percentage. Because this is, to date, the most studied, the closest to the actual captives of something like Sauvage, and the only one that's been released in 2025. The newest, the most studied, and the best. It's by French Avenue, and it's called Zenith Blue. Oh, Neve, it's French Avenue. Try it. Buy all of them. Bring them on a video, and let us know otherwise. This is, to date, factually, okay, factually. Don't make me go and get like the stats from these guys. They won't even give it to me. The factories won't give it to me. These are the behind the scenes conversation. Yeah, this is 92% close. Oh, how do you know? Well, we get it from our GCMS machines, and this is 92% close when we compare them. This is the closest thing out there, you guys. The highest quality ambergris at the price point. French Avenue has been working very closely to really master captives, and this one does. Citrus fresh, geranium, lavender, ambergris, and the woods. This, to date, is the closest thing you'll get to Dior Sauvage EDT. Unfortunately reformulated, but it will forever live in this bottle. This isn't to take credit from any of the other fragrances below, but they are a little bit farther off from the DNA. If you want that, then go for it. They might still be good for you. For me personally, this is the closest one at about 90% close. I just say stick to this. Even if they say 92%, I would still say it's about 90% close, because Dior Sauvage is incredible. But oh my God, that smells so damn good. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the official Clone War winner, the honorable mention, and the other alternatives. I hope this brought you some clarity. If it did, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button, join the family, and let me know down in the comment section, when is the last time? I'm not even going to ask if you own this, because every man has this. It's the most selling fragrance, period, not just for men. When's the last time you wore Sauvage? And you should wear it tomorrow, if not today. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.